After the fastest run-up in interest rates in Canadian history, the Bank of Canada has finally cut rates for the first time since the start of the pandemic.
Monetary policy no longer needs to be as restrictive, and lowered the policy rate by 25 basis points to 4.75%.
Tiff Macklem had been the bad news banker for the past 2 years, sending rates to 5%, their highest level since 2001, in a bid to crush inflation that Macklem now believes looks to be under control.
If inflation continues to ease and our confidence that inflation is headed sustainably to the 2% target continues to increase, it is reasonable to expect further cuts in our policy interest rate.
A cut not a huge surprise, with financial markets and economists widely expecting the bank to follow through on months of talk that they were ready to end the historic rate increase cycle.
A quarter-point cut isn't going to have by itself a big effect on the economy, but I think for a lot of borrowers out there, just the fact that the Bank of Canada's cut interest rates for the first time in more than 4 years is a pretty big deal.
Macklem now making Canada one of the earliest movers on cutting rates, slashing before the U.S. Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, and most other European countries. But the question now becomes how quick and how fast the bank will move to cut more, something homeowners across the country are watching closely. While Canadians with a variable rate, roughly 15% of mortgage holders, will see an immediate monthly cut, the bigger issue is renewals. 70% of mortgage holders will renew in 2 years into much higher rates compared to what they had during the pandemic.
We know Canadians with mortgages that are renewing will welcome this interest rate change. They would like to see further further reductions in interest rate.
And even with more cuts to come, the impact on fixed rates will likely be limited.
Longer-term interest rates have largely already built in the expectation that the Bank of Canada is going to be cutting interest rates.
The next interest rate announcement is set for July 24th, and between now and then, there are 2 inflation reports. And if that information is good for Tiff Macklem, that will likely open the door for further interest rate cuts. Mackenzie Gray, Global News, Ottawa.